Hey everyone, welcome to Dork Cast. Yes, episode 1 of Dork Cast, a action figure podcast / live YouTube thing talking about action figures, toy news, toy community spotlight, toy photography. Thanks everyone for being here. Mr. Tacos, thanks for coming in. VCL Vamp is here. Teal bro, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Grateful for everyone who's here in the live chat already. 78 people. Thank you guys so much for being here. So yeah, this is the first episode of what I would like to be a weekly kind of podcast where I'm going to talk about the newest toy stuff that's come out that's interesting to me that I think would be interesting to you. Hi, Mom. Everyone say hi to my mom in the chat, please. Anyway, toy news, some toy photography that I think is really cool that I want to show off, and also just like really good topics about toys and what's happening now that I think deserves like enough discussion, that kind of thing. Maybe I'll have a guest host here and there. Who knows? Some Q&A. What else do I have? A bunch of stuff written down. And so it's the first one, so I'm going to see how it goes and make some changes. Feedback is definitely appreciated, so please let me know what works and what doesn't work and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. I do plan on doing Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is kind of like, some people are just getting out of work over here. It's Friday, and like it's also anyone overseas, like in the UK. I used to get so many people in the UK being like, can you please do an earlier stream so I'm not, staying up past 2 a.m. So it's a little earlier than usual. Go figure, go, dude. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'll send that $5 over to my mom. I'll Venmo it to her. Thanks, man. That's super, super kind. Also, what I plan on doing as well is taking this in an audio form, putting it out to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, stuff like that. So that kind of thing. So making it actually feel like a podcast. So that does probably involve me talking a lot more. I mean, I guess that's always the case anyway. But that's pretty much the plan. So here we go. This is the first one, Dork Cast episode 1. And you get used to seeing, annoying thumbnails like this of my face or something like that. That'll be the thumbnail for these type of things. Oh, thanks for the super chat from Mattis. Try to read this. It's Norwegian. Hallo, Jeg heter Mattis. I hope I didn't swear or anything like that. Well, I appreciate it anyway, Mattis. Well, I guess I'm just going to get started. I don't want to beat around the bush, even though I appreciate everyone in the live chat. If anyone has questions, hold them till later on in the show, because that's when I'm going to just like let loose and just go off and I don't know, just talk with you guys and answer as many questions as possible for a while. I do plan on for a while. I feel like I'm going to get through a lot of this stuff probably quicker than I realize. So I think there'll be probably plenty of time to go for it. So I'm just going to get started with toy news. So this is one here that I've only really I would be surprised if anyone has heard of this unless you already saw it on YouTube. So this is called Grub Sport. Grub Sport. It's a new action figure line that is currently being funded. Hey, Toys with Tanks saying, thanks so much for joining the membership, my friend. That's amazing. You are awesome. Thanks so much for joining the membership, dude. That's so cool. But so this is a new line, and it's all like anthropomorphized food called Grub Sport. So these right here are prototypes. This is the most polished looking prototype here. So if you're listening to this, it's basically, this is just a pizza with arms and legs and a very intense face. And we've got a cheeseburger. Man, why is it not? I wish I could pull up the whole thing on here. There's a donut and there's a pineapple. So if you view this post on your phone or something, you'll be able to pull it up. Yeah, Teal Bro. There's a pizza slice. And Lucian, it's very much a retro feel to it. It's definitely got a retro feel to it. And it's pretty cool. I think the concept is really awesome. I don't think we're gonna really like these will be super articulated or anything like that. You know, there's a little. You can tell there's a little bit here. He's even got like hot pieces of pepperoni he's holding on to. Like that's pretty cool. So definitely look into these. The link. Okay, so before I get to that, these are currently in the funding phase, and they need to be funded, and they're not going on Kickstarter. They're actually going through this is by a friend of mine, Jonathan at J5 Collectibles. He's got a store down in Florida. He's got some former like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle people sculpting stuff like that. And so instead of going through a Kickstarter, he's going through this kind of raffle thing. So like your funding will still automatically get you a figure if it gets funded, but also you're putting something into a raffle no matter what. And so it's all, if you want more info on it, all the info is I put it in the description of this live stream, and it's also here on my YouTube channel on the community tab. Just look for this giant pizza face and you'll see it there. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Hey, Ben, thanks for coming in, man. Yes. Okay. All I'm seeing in the live chat is seeing 80s and 90s. And I think that's totally the feel for the goal here, is to get some type of nostalgic kind of feel to them. And I think they're really cool. And, you know, when they come about, I'm going to do an actual video on them, and I probably will be doing some photography of these guys as well. So I think it's really cool. If, like I said, you want more info, the link's down there. And, you know, if you end up funding them, that's like, you'll be a part of, obviously, if you've done a Kickstarter or something, you'll be a part of, I don't know, the actual inception, the genesis of a new toy line, which is kind of cool, you know. So cool. That's Grub Sport. That's Grub Sport. My next, what's the next thing I've got on the list here? Okay, this is really interesting. And this is one I'm going to want opinions on, because I've never heard of something like this. And I think this is actually kind of cool. So McFarland, everybody knows McFarland Toys. Whoa, Zach Smith, thanks so much for joining the membership, dude. That's amazing. I'm so grateful, man. And anyone who joins, the Discord server is like right there when you join. There's a link for it. Thank you so much, dude. That's amazing. But McFarland, what they're doing is they're doing a like weird kind of blister pack for for Superman. That's a Ross exclusive. Does anyone have Ross near them? I don't have Ross. I have Ollie's, which is cool, which is super cool. And I love it. And I can get super great stuff cheap. But I feel like all the good stuff always goes to Ross. And I'm jealous anyone who's got Ross near them. But if you look at the package here. So if you're not watching the video form, think of like a blister pack, you know, like a carded like action figure pack, you know, like a vintage collection, the old jet, you know, like a cardboard thing, and then a McFarlane bubble Superman right there, and there's nothing else. It's just the figure, and that's it. And it's kind of interesting. It's almost like this is like a budget figure. Houston's got plenty of Rosses. All right. Yeah, New York, at least by me, does not have any. Yes, Ross Dress for Less. And I don't know, like, it's weird because it's definitely a whole lot. It's a budget figure. And I guess the thing is price. What's the price going to be? I'm thinking like $15. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm assuming they're going to do this for $15. Silver Moon, who goes to Ross for toys? I've never been to Ross ever, and I feel like I'm always seeing like, wow, I found a Captain Rex Black Series here for $3. It's like, wait, what? So I don't know. Maybe they do have more, but That's what McFarland's doing. And I'm kind of someone that really likes the look of like blister pack, bubble pack. Like my whole wall is full of these, just like with the Star Wars ones. And I think those are really cool. So I kind of am partial to the packaging in and of itself. And it's just very interesting to me. And it's very small. The card and behind it's really small. So I don't know. And Charlotte Welch, it looks exactly like, as far as articulation goes, it looks exactly like the typical McFarlane, 7-inch multiverse line figures. So it's going to be that same thing, but just the figure alone in there, which I thought was like really interesting and something that I've never really seen. I don't know, companies do before, but like just okay, let's take our normal flagship style figure, strip out all the good stuff and just stick it in a box on its own and sell it for cheaper. I don't know. I think that's cool. And we'll see. Well, the Dragon Collector, for me, Ross is trash. There's nothing good there. Well, maybe now there will be. So I don't know. Maybe this will be the beginning of something. No, the two exploding eggs. Does it have different hands to replace stuff? No, I'm pretty sure it's just the figure, nothing else. So that's probably one of the reasons why they're going to be able to sell it for so much cheaper. And who knows how much cheaper it is? I'm guessing $15. It's not a whole lot cheaper, but it's still a little bit cheaper. But we'll see. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think it's cool. Do you think they're going to keep doing with it? This is probably a test thing. Doing it with a big, movie that's coming out. I guess we'll just see. Silver Moon, I guess we'll just see. You're right. Silver, I guess we'll just see. So, yeah, that's the next thing I've got to talk about. Okay, this next thing is really cool. Let's see. Where do I have it? So, a lot of the things I'm going to probably be talking about are these weird third-party things because I don't want to talk about things that most people don't already know about. So, I guess this isn't technically third party. It's not. It's just kind of associated with third party stuff because it's being sold. I pre-ordered it here on 5K Toys. So this is called the Human Muscle Model by Keep Going Studio. Human Muscle Model action figure red. And there's also a gray version. So what this is just like, and forgive me to someone who knows more about human anatomy, which I don't know much about. It looks like a anatomically accurate, just like muscle thing. Like if you're ever in like science class in school and they've got like a picture on the poster on the wall that's like a human muscle person. This is what it is. It's right here. The two exploding eggs. Yes, I am totally going to buy this. I already have it on pre-order. So I pre-ordered this on 5K Toys. I don't have any affiliation or anything with them. That's where I got it. And it seems pretty decent. I think it's only like $40. So the deposit's $5. And then so the whole thing's $41. $41. And so if you look, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Like it looks articulated. There's like the gray version isn't really interesting to me. It's kind of just like black and white. Right? It looks pretty cool. I'm into it. Comic Fan says, "Yep, looks awesome." And Aiden, yes, I'll definitely make a video for it. I definitely will. I feel like my brother Tucker will think this is cool because I remember him. He's a physical therapist assistant. Tucker, you'll probably think this is cool. It looks good. I've seen a lot of comments about it, seeing like, "Oh, looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan." It does kind of look like the Colossal Titan. I mean, okay, maybe the Colossal Titan looks more like him, right? I think it's cool, and not a bad price. I did see some other like pictures, not here on 5K Toys, but other photos elsewhere, and having him come with like weird genital parts that are like anatomically not correct and they were blurred out. I don't know because they're not here on the 5K and I don't know if it's going to come with it or not. So I suppose if it comes with it, it'll be in the video that I do, and I don't know if that'll demonetize it or what. Look at this though. Look how cool is that? That's pretty great. The articulation is great. Yes. Sherry Welch says use it for a dead person on Mortal Kombat or for there's a name of a Mortal Kombat character that was it just like meat or with flesh or something from like Mortal Kombat 3, where he looked like he was just like a meat. What I think his name was Meat. Can anybody remember? Comic fan, it's not $5. $5 is the deposit, and then after when it ships, the rest of the money will be charged. Yes, Vamp says it's Meat. Azura Trickster says it's Meat. Right. Okay. That's what I thought. So it kind of reminds me of him. Yeah. And post battle with a Predator. Yeah. There's so many things that this could be used for, or it could just be whatever. I'll probably put him with my skeletons. Maybe they'll put out an anatomically correct skeleton after that. Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities, or it doesn't have to be anything like that. It can just be something. This is cool. So that's pretty cool. This is on 5K Toys, if you want to check it out. I was expecting it to be on Toys Metaverse too, but I didn't see it on there. So keep an eye out for it. I think it's cool. Human muscle model by Keep Going Studios. Just keep going, studios. Just keep going. So speaking of keeping going, what's the next thing on my list here? Okay, more third-party stuff. There's the website I usually use for third-party figures is toysmetaverse.com. That's usually where I pre-order. And there's just been a lot of actually somewhat interesting things there that I've been pre-ordering, and I want to show you. If you have any questions, readers, I see you keep throwing a question in there. I'm going to do a Q&A session at the end, towards the end of the stream. And then I'll be able to answer questions going on there. And here we go. Domesticated Caveman. It is Toys Metaverse, but they spell it with a Z. Toys Metaverse. Here it is. And so there's just a lot. Okay, so this one right here. I'm not ordering this one. Hang on. Okay, so I'm not ordering this one, but I feel like this is one that a lot of people would be interested in. This is just Rick and Morty. This is not third party. This is officially licensed. This is just 1/12 scale, which is weird for Fonjoy to be doing. 1/12 scale, Rick and Morty, accurate. And look at all the stuff that it comes with. That's crazy. So it seems like it's really accurate to the cartoon, which I kind of liked. I don't love Rick and Morty, but I think it's pretty funny. And it's got Rick's got tons of faces, hands, and so many gadgets and stuff from the show. And Morty's got the same, amount of stuff. That's kind of cool. Not something I'm gonna get, but they're pretty cool. They seem pretty accurate. And Fonjoy is okay. The only Fonjoy I've really gotten, I kind of had a bad experience with, so I'll probably pass. But that's pretty cool. This one I just saw this the other day. This is Death Star's Supervisor. It's a 1/12 scale Darth Vader figure, and he's got a lot of soft goods on him. So it looks like obviously the cape and like everything else besides the armor, I believe, is soft goods, and that's I think the whole real reason behind it. And why you would want to buy this over any other actual action figure or whatever legitimate figure arts or Mafex or whatever Darth Vader. He looks all right. I'm personally, I'm not that interested. He looks kind of cool. Something about the helmet is off to me, right? It's almost like the hat top part seems small, right? Does that seem small? Yeah, Zach Smith, the third party names always crack me up. Death Star Supervisor, that kind of sounds more like Tarkin or something, or Krennic, not Vader. But this secondary head looks really good. So I'm not gonna get him, even though I love Star Wars and this is what I collect. But something about the face looks off, right? Is it just me? Yeah, Comic Dad's the helmet seems small. So I don't know. I have some other third party Star Wars stuff coming soon. Like there's a Boba Fett coming soon. So there's that. That's kind of interesting, but I'm gonna pass on him. Um, the mask. There's been a couple different the mask figures. If you're obviously if you're a Jim Carrey fan or a 90s fan, Bro Toys the mask. There's a couple of them. This is with this kind of like with this outfit with the vest and the barbershop quartet hat, right? And then there's another one that's got more of the kind of mafia looking suit and looks like almost the same kind of accessories. And I missed out on the one they did with the yellow suit. That's the one I would have bought if they re-released that. I'll probably do that, but I'm probably gonna pass on these. That looks pretty cool. League, the accessories are fantastic. I don't remember the dog's name, but that's really cool. And it comes with the mask and all the guns, whatever. It's very cool. And there's been a few different the mask figures, but specifically the one I'm interested in is a Jim Carrey one, right? Yeah, right. That's Comic Dad. Exactly what you're saying. Mezco knocked it out of the park with their mask, but I wish it was the Jim Carrey version. Same. That's the only reason I didn't get it because it's more like the comic one. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, the thing that I'm really, really wanting to talk about is this one by Rimad Custom Wrestler Spider Human. Why didn't they just say the human spider? That would have been perfect. I think this is amazing. And I can't believe that Hasbro hasn't done this yet. Or there's just in the video I made about the black suit Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. One of the things I said was like, why are they not doing all these Sam Raimi Spider-Man related characters? There's so much potential there, and people love Tobey Maguire. So my thoughts are like, what are they doing? Maybe there's some type of licensing thing, I'm sure. Whatever. So this one right here is the answer. I think this is the number one thing that should be made. This is just so good. Like, look at this. It's okay. So if you're not if you're listening, this figure is in the beginning and in the first Spider-Man where he goes to the wrestling competition and win $3,000 and he comes with this bootleg outfit and he's like, I'm the human spider. That's the best you got? The Amazing Spider-Man. Which is what's his name? Ash, the Evil Dead guy? What's the Evil Dead guy's name? Campbell, not Joseph Campbell. Whatever. So and he's got the sweater he's wearing is soft goods. The face is looking a little bit weird. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Right? Doesn't look terrible. And he's even got the gloves. Bruce Campbell. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Taco, Windman, Lucian. Thank you, guys. I think this is so cool. The pants and the shirt are soft goods. So, and what it seems like they really do, most of these third-party companies, they've already got like a good body. And then what they do is like, okay, let's make the soft goods, the hands and the face and the feet. And then they just pop it on the already existing body that they've been using. So like this is pretty cool. And I definitely pre-ordered this the second it went up. Silver Moon says the head doesn't look too bad. I think the Toby like unmasked head looks pretty good, but the masked head, I don't know. It's not that it doesn't look like him. It just looks weird. Does it look weird I don't know. Like the eyes look small, maybe. Jeremazing says Toby's face is weird often in real life, so it's hard to make not weird action figure. Yeah, I think it's something with the eyes on that. It's almost like they look small on that. It's Toys Metaverse. It's right there. Comic Fan Toys Metaverse.com with a Z. It's right there. It's on the screen too, right there, by the way. So yeah, and I like websites like this. 5K and Toys Metaverse are the ones I usually go to, but Kaukus also sells third-party stuff like this, and Bombus Bee. There's tons of them. So, Mom, if you're watching right now, you might be like a couple minutes behind on the stream. So if you tap the little thing that says live on the corner, it'll bring you back to the current time of the stream. Anyway, hey Goji man, thanks for coming in, dude. And it says $20. The 2 exploding eggs. It says $20. That is the deposit. $20 deposit. But it says the remaining payment is $50. So in total, it's $70 in total, which is pretty typical, right? I mean, it's pretty typical. It's pretty typical. It's not. I don't want to say it's not bad, because I don't know, it might be, but it's typical. I'd say it's very typical. By the way, if you're watching and you're liking this, drop a quick like on the video. That'd be honestly pretty sick if you did. I would appreciate that very much. If you're watching and you're not liking it, just don't dislike it. Who does anyone dislike videos? Sometimes I look at the likes and dislikes and I'm like, who's actually going on this and clicking dislike? Like what about this made you go click the dislike? That's just weird. I don't think I've ever disliked a video. And by the way, if you're watching and you just like don't like the toy that I'm talking about, don't hit dislike, because that just means you dislike the video, not the toy. It's not my. I mean, I'm just making a video about the toy that you dislike. Anyway, the dislike ratio is tiny. I'm going off on a tangential rant here, which is kind of what I was hoping for. That's what these streams are for, so I can just go off when something pops in my head. Okay, the next thing on Toys Metaverse. Let's see, what else did I have to talk about? I also have this one pre-ordered. This is just another Henry Cavill Superman, which is great with soft goods. He looks a little bit weird, big-headed. Proportions look off, but I'm into it. It looks better than what the Mezco one looked like with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman back in the day. So I think that's pretty cool. And of course, they block out anything that might get flagged algorithmically with something that, some intellectual property, you know what I mean? Because it's not licensed. This is We Like Toys 112, the son of Kirtan. The son of Kirtan action figure. I don't know if that's a typo or if that's no, I don't think that's a typo. The son of Kirtan. So yeah, there you go. There's a lot. There's honestly, there's so much stuff. Comic fan, really want a new Batman figure. There's plenty of Batmans on here. There's plenty of Batmans on this site. If you're looking for a third-party Batman, plenty of them. But yeah, just go to one of these websites, check it out. There's so much cool stuff on here. So much cool stuff. And next week, if anything else cool comes up, I'll bring it up. Ben, your birthday is coming up. That's true. That's crazy. Well, I'm not gonna say happy birthday yet, because I know I'll still be. I'll sometime on your birthday, I'll give you a real one. 2 exploding eggs. Speaking of Anakin, we'll get to that very soon. We'll definitely get to that. So, let's see. So the Instagram account that I usually go to when I just want to look at toy news in general is I just go to this one, Praeternia. And Praeternia is where He-Man's from, right? If I remember correctly. So the main thing I want to talk about is this one. If you're a fan of Attack on Titan, the what's the name of this attack? The Beast Titan is now coming out. I've got Aaron Yeager over there. I've been meaning to do the review on him. I'm just falling behind. And Annie and Reiner are out too. Well, they're on pre-order, and so now they're keeping on with this line with the Beast Titan. So Goji man, that is not King Kong. That is a much scrawnier looking King Kong. But Eternia. Okay, what did I think what Praeternia was? Maybe that's just the name of this person's thing. Sorry, guys. So that's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna pick him. Am I gonna pick him up? I love Attack on Titan, but like I don't love the look. I like this character, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna buy it. Which is kind of cool. There's so much Kong on here. He really skipped leg day and arm day, but he definitely did not skip core day. Definitely did not skip core day. Look at those. Well, he's got abs and then a belly. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he skipped every day. I don't know. I don't know. So let's see what else is on. That was the main thing I really wanted to talk about um, on there. So there's one more figure that I only just today discovered. Like actually only like 10 minutes before this I started doing the stream actually. And this is pretty crazy. So speaking of, this will probably eventually go up on Toys Metaverse or 5K Toys. This is a third-party Ash figure, a bootleg third-party, whatever the heck you want to call it. Ash figure. A little bit weird. It's a little weird. Okay, so if you're watching this figure, or if you're listening, it's Ash from the anime Pokemon. And he's got soft good pants. He's got, all the clothes and everything look great. But he's got like an adult looking body. But he's still got a very anime looking head. It's not even just like an adult looking body. It's like a realistic adult looking body. And then he's got like a child's anime face. And it just doesn't fit. Individually, they look great. The head on its own looks great. The body on its own looks great. But I think they just don't match at all. Right? The hand, like everything looks so good. It even comes with the Pokedex. It comes with a Pikachu. And so doesn't that look weird? I don't know. It's like just put your hand over the the head, and it's like, oh, it looks great. And then put it over the body. It's like, oh, it looks great. But they just don't match. Icy, I grew up on Pokemon too. That's the reason why I'm talking about this right now. But the thing is, there's no good Ash figures out there. Unless you've got that SH Figuarts one. I've got him, and it's amazing. It's so amazing. But it's so incredibly difficult to find. Right? And it's kind of cool. Like, this looks a little awkward. The hand looks awkward, doesn't it? That doesn't look terrible. Right? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's just, and so another thing, this is made by JM Toys. Does anyone recognize the name JM Toys? JM Toys made that Sub-Zero third-party figure that I did a review on that I thought was like the worst thing ever. Yes, it was really bad. It was almost kind of like pathetic that they even passed this to go out. I mean, it had a lot of great potential and concepts and ideas, and some things were amazing. It's just they just didn't work. The things didn't work with each other, didn't function the way it was supposed to. So maybe they've learned their lesson. I don't really have anything else of theirs. So JM Toys, not Jared Middleton Toys. No, not me. JM. I don't know who. Joyman Toys. So it's pretty cool, and I'm just happy that this is a thing. But at the same time, it's like, ooh, it doesn't look good. So I don't. Maybe just for the sake of making a video about it, I'll buy it. But I'm not particularly very excited about it. I'm excited. I'm excited that people will have an Ash figure. That don't have one, because that's. I mean, you can get a cheapo. I don't know, Jazzwares one, but an actual good one, and so, yeah, there's a ton of hands. JPD, there's a ton of hands it comes with, and it's got potential. So I'll probably get it. I'll probably get it, and do a video just because it's Pokemon, it's Ash. I gotta do it. So this will probably go up on Toys Metaverse 5K, whatever. And so a really great account to follow. This is a Twitter account. It's called I Love Heroes. I_love__heroes. It's a great account. They always post third-party stuff like this. And I always see it on here before it goes up for pre-order or anything like that. And Lucian, that's a good point. You will make your money back by reviewing it. And technically, I can write off that as a business expense. So yeah, I see that. I appreciate that so much. You're my favorite YouTuber that does reviews, and you put me onto photography. Well, I see that honestly means like the world. So thank you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here and watching. Um, all right. So the other two things I want to quickly talk about aren't necessarily toy news, but they're cool. And they're two events that I'm going to be going to, toy events that I'm going to be going to in the upcoming future. And I'll probably talk about it again next week too. So this first one here, I usually would get a table at this event. This is the Toying Around Block Party. It's in Johnstown, New York. I'm sure plenty of people watching are like, oh, well, I don't even live in New York. I don't even live in the US. Well, if you're anywhere near Johnstown, New York, definitely go to this. I'm gonna be attending as an attendee. I'm not gonna have like a table or anything, but it's really cool. And if maybe I'll see you there. Whoa, Laser Pants, thanks, thanks, dude, for sending in the super chat. That's incredibly kind of you. Well, now you know what the dollar sign does. I appreciate you, dude. I hope you're doing well. That's super nice, man. Go figure, go. You would be so good as a vendor here. And honestly, this event is so cool. It's so much different than just like a normal toy event or toy show. It's, there's toys being sold there, but they literally book out the entire street block, and they have tons of cool vendors that are toy related, pop culture related, and obviously Toying Around is a store, so they sell tons of toys there anyway. And there's like food, and there's like it's just really fun. It's really, really fun. So if you're anywhere in the area, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. It's a ton of fun. And if you go, I don't know, send me a message or something, and I'll check to see if I can meet up. But this is June 28th coming up. It's next weekend. So I have to remember that it isn't 900 degrees in New York in late June. I mean, not like it is in like Texas or Nevada or something, but it can get very hot over here too. It can get very hot. If anyone's thrown in any questions in the live chat, Kuratori, I see you throwing in questions. I'm gonna do a Q&A session at the end, and if you have questions, stick them in there later, and I'll do my best to answer then. Whoa, Taco Bella Lugosi with the super chat just said, "Here's a couple bucks." All right, thank you. Why is that so funny to me? Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for the chat, Taco Bella Lugosi. Thanks for the couple bucks. That's more than a couple. That's $5. I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you at the block party. It's very, very fun. See you there. Yeah. So the other event that I'm going to talk about is this one. And this one I do have a table at. This might be at a more centralized location, but this is the Great American Toy Show in Taunton Conference Center, Miles Standish Boulevard in Taunton, Massachusetts. Does anyone know Taunton, Massachusetts? Taunton? I don't necessarily, but this is like a 2-hour drive for me. So it says Chris Con Action Figure Convention presents. So I had a table, there were 2 other Chris Cons that happened, and they were great. They were so much fun. I had a table at the last one, and it was so much fun. So much fun. Like, just tons of great toys, tons of people that you might know from like the toy community you'll see there. And they have like toy brands are there, and they do like fun stuff. This is more just like, here's a bunch of toy vendors and sellers and stuff. So I'm gonna have a table there. I'm gonna be selling, like toy photos and like prints, and I've got a whole bunch of Sirdork hats that I'm gonna be selling. I bought like 10 hats, so that's pretty cool. And I got pins. I just got little tchotchke Sirdork crap. Plus, I'm gonna be selling some of my old toys that I'll be selling. And a lot of them are things you probably have seen in videos that I've done that I don't necessarily have places for anymore. A lot of the bootlegs, like CT Toys and stuff, I'm going to be selling. So head there. Stubbs, Taunton is about an hour south from me. Stubbs, it would be so cool to see you there, man. It would be so cool to see you there. So yeah, I mean, check it out. Check it out. All the info is right there on the screen. If you want, I'll put the information in the video description too. But yeah, Chris Kahn presents the Great American Toy Show. I hope to see you there. I hope to see you there. Is there a British version? The Great British American Toy Show. Anyway, I'm gonna move on before I embarrass myself anymore. All right, let's move on to the main topic of the stream, which is, did Hasbro just reveal their greatest product ever? I don't know. So I'm pulling it up right now. This came out like a little over a week ago, or maybe around a week ago. So it's not necessarily new. I mean, it's still new. It's still new. But this is definitely something that I think, I have some opinions on. I think other people have opinions on. I think it is worth talking about. So this right here is, we've got Anakin and ObiWan, Battle of the Heroes, Black Series figures, and it comes with Mustafar stuff. Oh, Vamp! Dude, with the super chat. Haven't gotten paid yet, but I wanted to contribute to your journey. Vamp, thank you so much for that super chat. That's hugely generous of you, my friend, and totally unnecessary, but I appreciate it so much already. Just the fact that you're watching is enough, is supporting. It is very much. So thank you for that super chat. And wow, Diggs, thank you with the other super chat for the full-time YouTuber. Yes, thank you. And hey, remember, it's my responsibility to just make something cool that you want to watch. Not necessarily anyone else's responsibility to fund my career. Thank you, though. It means so much. You guys are amazing. But okay, Hasbro revealed this 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Obi-Wan on Mustafar. And okay, so first of all, let's just look at all of the stuff that it comes with. It comes with Anakin with all these lava effects and the little droid that he jumps onto. Also comes with Obi-Wan and the big platform they battle on. It comes with Force hands. And there's a whole lot more accessories and the photography is absolutely incredible. Like, look, this is Shooting the Galaxy. I don't know if you're familiar with this toy photographer. Literally, Hasbro's toy photographer. So their toy photography careers exist. That's inspiring right there. The photography is incredible. Are there other posts with this on here? I'll probably have to go somewhere else to get more pictures. But this is incredible. I really do believe this is the best, probably one of the best Hasbro things they've ever done. So one of the things right away is not just Hasbro, but there has been absolutely, in my opinion, zero good 1/12 scale Anakin Hayden Christensen faces on any figure. The Figure Arts ones, they're close, but not so good. The old Black Series ones were just horrible. The newer ones are a little better, like the Clone Wars ones. That one's kind of good, but but this one, they nailed it. This is finally the first ever, good Hayden Christensen Anakin face sculpt where it actually looks like him in Revenge of the Sith. And that alone right there is I don't know what the problem is. All these companies make incredible face sculpts, but it's taken them this, they've just constantly failed. And in my opinion, I thought every other Anakin face sculpt has just been bad. Yeah, maybe just Hayden's got such a handsome, unique face, comic fan. Maybe you're right. But so that right there is incredibly exciting to me. There's been plenty of great Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor faces, but this one also looks amazing. Also looks quite amazing. So that is what it's got going for it right there. Holy crap! And I mean, I'm gonna go on to Yak Face. There's probably better photos there too of this. Yak Face is like the #1 like Star Wars action figure news outlet. I would definitely recommend going on to Yak Face. Okay, are there more pictures here? Nope. It's the same ones. Come on. Why are there not more of these? All right, that's fine. We'll just stick with this. So, oh no, wait, I gotta go back. All right. Where is Anakin? Okay, we're back. So the big downside here is it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That's the thing that's like, what? Are you kidding? They literally are dropping probably not only the one of the best like products ever, but it's like this is a hugely sought after thing. I don't think there's a more like I don't want to say more popular Star Wars thing, but like hot kind of Star Wars thing, at least in my generation and the surrounding ones, than like Revenge of the Sith and Anakin right now. There's so much love for that currently. So there's this, they're dropping not only like the amazing product and like this like icon. I don't want to say iconic because there's probably more iconic Star Wars things, objectively, not just like A New Hope, Darth Vader. But this is so huge, and the fact that it's like this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's like, what? Come on, I know, and that made me really, really upset. I was pretty upset, and so look at my comment here. I commented on it. I said, this looks incredible, but making it an SDCC exclusive is a major bummer. And my comment got 589 likes. That's pretty cool. I was like, wow. And so I kind of regret leaving that comment because there's something I missed. So someone else in the comments under my comment said, dude, look at the bottom. It says available for purchase exclusively at SDCC 2025 this July. Additional availability information will be provided at a later date. Like, oh, additional availability. Okay. So other people who are not going to San Diego Comic-Con can still buy it? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, and also Stubbs says, wondering what the price tag will be. The price tag is $109. I think it's $109.99. So $110. I actually think that's a pretty reasonable price, actually. Like, I actually think that's pretty reasonable because you're getting a lot. You're getting 2 figures, Obi-Wan, Anakin. That's like $50 right there. You're getting all of those accessories, the platform, all the fire, all the extra droid thing, and you're getting all of these multiple faces. You're getting all these multiple hands. You're getting multiple, like you're getting a lot of stuff, and the packaging is so cool. The packaging is incredible. So that's actually, in my opinion, like I was expecting like 120 or more for that. So I think 110 is actually a reasonable price, right? Like that's pretty cool. So additional availability will be provided at a later date. What does that even mean? What I'm thinking that means is they're going to drop this on Hasbro Pulse at some point. So that's cool, but that also scares me a lot because Hasbro Pulse, and I'm sure there's probably plenty of people who are a part of this, which honestly isn't a terrible business decision in my opinion. Hasbro Pulse has a premium member option you can pay for, so then you get access to pre-orders like a couple hours earlier than anybody else. There's other perks and stuff too, but if you're a Hasbro Pulse premium member, you can go and pre-order things before the general public has the option to, and so you can get things. But it wouldn't be the first time for things to sell out before it even goes out to the public. I had a huge rant in a video once where this Yoda figure that I really wanted, it sold out before the general public was even able to pre-order him, because all of the premium members sold out before anyone, and I was so frustrated about that. So I think the idea of this premium membership thing that they do is actually kind of a good business model. I think it's kind of cool. It incentivizes people to subscribe to something. It's whatever, Hasbro is a business. We can't forget they're a business. So I think it's not terrible. But like not if it results in crap like this. Then I think it's bad. So hopefully when and if they put this on Hasbro Pulse, it will be available for everybody and it won't sell out right away. So I'm really scared of that happening. So I'm lucky enough to know a couple people going to SDCC who are going to try and pick this up for me. So I'm very excited about that and I'm very grateful. And so I'm still going to try and order this as is. So keep an eye out. So Domesticated Caveman says, I'm a premium member, but I believe it should be a limit 1 for all. Yeah, so that's what happened last time, is they had a limit of 5. So the premium members were probably getting 5, or I don't know, some people were. And so 5 per person was more than enough to make it sell out. So maybe 2. I get, like, being able to buy 2 is not unreasonable. Like I don't think it should be not allowed to get 2. Like, what if you want 2? Open up and save one. That's fine. But 5 is crazy. So I don't know what it's weird. I don't want to be mad. I'm excited because I think this is so cool. And I think Hasbro is like providing an amazing product. I think this is like not even just, I think it's amazing, but it's like, come on. So we'll see what happens. At the very least, so I saw a bunch of questions saying, are they going to just release Anakin as is? Are they going to just release Obi-Wan as is? Totally. I'm pretty sure every single time they've done a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, it's always been like often it's the first time this figure is getting released. And then later on, they put it out. They did that with Cad Bane. They did that with Cassian Andor. They did that with like Paz Vizsla Black Series. So they put it out, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it's in like a special box. It comes with extra stuff. But then later on, they did just put them out as a normal release too. So I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this Anakin and this Obi-Wan will get individual releases as they are, but not with all the extra stuff. All the extra stuff is probably going to continue to be exclusive to this SDCC thing. So that's cool. And I don't know about the faces and the hands. We'll see about all of that. So if you're worried about just getting them individually, you're probably fine. I wouldn't worry about it at all. That'll be easy. But the extra stuff, and I'm a sucker for the packaging. I think the packaging is so cool. Packaging is sick. If you've seen it, there's no pictures of it on here. But it's pretty cool. Or actually, I wonder if Yak Face had the packaging, because they had screen grabs of this. No, this is from the live stream. But this is it. Well, this is not really a very good example of it. Packaging is very cool. So just keep an eye out for pre-orders, because it probably will go out rather quickly. I've never been to SDCC, to Exploding Eggs. I've never been there. I live in New York. I would love to go to SDCC. I live in New York, and I've only been to New York Comic-Con once. Like, what's wrong with me? Right? Yeah. So I'm very curious to know what you guys are thinking about this, right? Yeah, they did reveal a bunch of other stuff. The Jedi Temple Guard got revealed, right? Like that's really cool. I think honestly I think the Halloween and the Christmas figures are kind of cool. I think this Asajj Ventress is pretty cool. I'm absolutely picking this up. I think this is awesome. This mummy stormtrooper, the concept alone is like kind of cool, but I think it's executed so well using pieces from the night trooper, the green, and like I think it's awesome. Like this is pretty sweet. Like I hope the packaging for these is really cool, because this is something that I would get and just hang on my wall in here. because I've got the Christmas ones up there and some of the Halloween ones. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Very much happy about that. All right. Well, if you're watching this later on, and at any point, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this, because I want to know if am I justified with this. And Jared Amazing, I'm curious to what you're saying here. Honestly, I decided to stop collecting Star Wars and sold what I have. Wow. Which is good because they don't stop. I almost got back in it when they released Dash from Shadows of the Empire. Well done. It's definitely easier to keep buying more when you have some. So like if you were to go, the fact that you sold them all probably makes it very hard to buy more, because it's like, well, I'm not going to buy more to add to. I don't have a collection anymore. So what, comic fan. All right, this is a really easy question. What's your favorite film of all time? Mine's Revenge of the Sith. My favorite Star Wars is The Phantom Menace. I'm just gonna Phantom Menace. I'll say Phantom Menace. Okay, so the next part of this podcast of Dork Cast is the top 10 toy photos. So I talked about this when on the last Toy Photographer React stream. I said I wasn't gonna do the Toy Photographer React stream anymore, but I was gonna do this kind of top 10 toy photography thing through the Dork Cast podcast. And so what? Here we go. So basically what I'll do is I'm actually going to choose 10 toy photos. So if you want to enter, and it's too late for this week, by the way, but if you want to enter any of your toy photos to be featured on this top 10 and this weekly Dorkcast podcast, just anytime you post a photo, tag me in it and do hashtag Sirdork top 10. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. I might experiment with doing themes, but doing a weekly theme is kind of difficult to like. I feel like that's not enough notice. I don't know. We'll see. Whoa, sorry. So that's all you got to do. Silver Moon to submit. Just anytime you post a toy photo, just tag me in it and do hashtag Sirdork top 10. I will also. And Lucien says, how do they get picked? I'm just gonna pick them. I'm just gonna pick what I think should go up on the stream tonight. So, I'm not just going to pick, the best, and there's not going to be any order, like top 10 order. There's no order. I'm just going to, I get attracted to things that are like creative conceptually, are just like, there's a really great idea, great story, like anything that just catches my attention. And like, wow, that's cool. I want to show that off. And I think that's really smart. Whoa, Johnny. Hey man, thanks for the super chat, dude. Yo, what's up, people? Jared's mom, Dork Cast episode 1. Let's go. Get that stream, buddy. Keep up the good work. I'll watch on catch up at the gym. All the best. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that a lot, man. Yes, I'm very excited for Dork Cast episode 1. So far, I think it's going well, and I'm very grateful for everyone who's been here. And I'm very grateful for you, man. Thank you for the super chat. That's so incredibly kind. So incredibly kind. But that's as far as the Sirdork top 10. That's all it is. Just post your toy photo and do the hashtag Sirdork top 10. Tag me in it, and I will actually choose myself. It's not random this time. And every so often, if I'm ever scrolling on Instagram throughout the week and I'm like, wow, that's so cool, I might also save that as well, just because I want to, even if it's not something that was entered, just because I want to show it off. And sometimes that's inspiring for others, and sometimes it just makes me want to talk about it. And that's what I'm going to do. So there might be a mixture of that, but for the most part, it's pretty much always going to be someone that submitted it. And that's pretty much it. So for now, for this week, I just chose 10 photos in my tagged section. So anyone that tagged me in a photo, I went through the last 2 weeks and I picked 10 that I thought were really cool, with an exception of 2 that I just saw while scrolling. And I'm like, this is so cool. Lucien says, does this mean they will keep filling up over the weeks of adding them to that hashtag? Yes, they will. Yes, they will. So the way I'll go in is I'll go to my tagged section and I'll go all the way till the beginning of the week or since the last stream. And then I'll be like, this is cool. Did they hashtag it? Yes, they did. I'll add this into the top 10 this week. So yeah, that's it. It's just tag me in it. Hey, Cyrus, appreciate you. So that's it. Any other questions about like how else to enter? I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? It's just you just tag and do it. So the first one coming up here in the top 10 is from Imperial Gas Studio. Well, this is an animated post. You know, it looks like I don't know what app Imperial Gas Studio did to get those fire, but all of the fire in the photo, it looks real. The way the lighting is already existing in the photo, all the post added fire feels diegetic, like it's in there. The lighting and matches, and it's cool. And all the effects that you added in afterwards actually look real. Like, they actually look good. Like sometimes I'm not a huge fan of like, oh, let's add in the post effects to the photo. It actually looks great. Like I think it looks really good, and that's why I grabbed this. And plus, I love the Incinerator Trooper. That's the first hot toy I ever bought, was the Incinerator Trooper. And so he might have done a still photo. I'm not gonna click because if there's a song on it, then it's going to demonetize the video, which has happened to me before. So yeah, this is from Imperial Gas Studio. Imperial Gas, this is cool. This is super cool. Great job. I'm curious as to if when you shot this, you anticipated, oh, I'm going to add in this stuff post, so this lighting will work when I add it in post. Thinking about that ahead of time is the way to get stuff to work so well like this. So I think this is great. So well done. Well done. And also Goofy Pumpkin, this is the I forgot to mention this also. It has to be on Instagram. Can we post them on YouTube? And if so, can we post multiple? You can post as many as you want, but it does have to be on Instagram. And if you don't have an Instagram, I would say make one. And if you say you're not allowed to have Instagram because your parents say you're not allowed to, I don't know, just say, hey, can I just have an Instagram just to post my toy photography? You can be in control of it. I just want Sirdork to see it. I don't know. Try that. Maybe they'll let you. So Imperial Gas Studio. This is awesome. Next is from Comic Dad Shots from Andrew. And I'm getting cut off by my banner down there. Andrew, Andrew was in the live chat earlier, Comic Dad. When I saw this, I was like, this is like, I think Comic Dad Shots has reached a new level here. Like, this is really great. This is a really fantastic photo. The lighting is fantastic, and the background and how like blue it is, and the lighting, like all of the light rays and everything, and the lighting on the figure, it fits with the background so well. And it feels like some kind of poster or something. It feels more than a toy photo. Like this is real. Like this is one of your best shots. And oh, there he is. He's here. He's here in the chat. Comic Dad, appreciate you, man. Siri, get out of here. No. I think when I said I appreciate you, I think my phone thought I said Siri. And almost called somebody by accident. Anyway, I think this is fantastic. So the lighting, the rim lighting on the right side of Jason is so good, and it's kind of like glowing a little bit. There's just a little bit of that lighting reflecting onto his mask, and you get the good glimpse of that. I think this is really great, Andrew. So just keep doing what you're doing, man, and you're reaching a new level in there. And yeah, Lucian says, I love the hint of pink. Yeah, there's a little bit of that on the axe and on his shirt. Like, that looks great. So yeah, really, really great. That's the monitor in the background. Honestly, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if this was a monitor, or if this was actually a real background, or if you just like photoshopped it. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, great job, man. Next is from Lens Figure. Like when I saw this photo, I at first thought like, are these like really small figures? Like I don't know what it is about this, but maybe it's because it's in the grass. I thought these were like tiny little figures. Like no, these are Marvel Legends. Why does it look like that? I love it. Is that I don't know what made me think that, but I absolutely love it. And it looks like you Lens Figure, you only had one Ultron figure. And so there you go. You did the cloning effect over here, over here, over here, over here. And it worked out perfectly. And there's all the info. Fantastic. ISO 400. Nice. Anyway, oops, that's Andrew. But I think this is really clean. It's sometimes when you're cloning these figures like this, you got to really think. You're like, okay, I can't put him here and then take a photo here because they'll be overlapping. So I got to make sure they're in totally different places. So it's like, it's hard. You got to really plan it out in your head first before we do that. ISO 400T. I mean, that is kind of a cool idea. I feel like the fan base for that would be so small. But I think this is just really well done, and the sparks. I know those are real sparks on the face because you have the sparklers and the BTS. It's great. I think this is just well done. So, Lens Figure, great job, really great job with this one. Okay, so this is from Jason B. Michael, which I've known Jason since we were both very new to toy photography years ago. And now he's just, he's one of the greats. And so I stumbled upon this photo on my feed, I think yesterday or day before when he posted it. And I was just being like, whoa, this is cool. Wow. Like, it's just amazing. He definitely has, Jason has found his craft and he's just done nothing but perfect that exactly. And he does all kinds of stuff. But like, there's definitely a certain thing he does, and it's just honestly, I don't think anybody does it better. You must have such a wide setup with your screen and stuff to get such these incredible wide open shots, which is just like, and he always documents look at this. Everything is so readily available right there. And these figures are not small, by the way. To get this pose like this, that was not easy. And he used iPop Designs buildings. Just fantastic. I need some short buildings like this. Like that little short one down there. I don't have anything. I need some small ones like that. And I just finished editing a video on this Ghidorah, by the way. So tomorrow, there will be a full video of this exact thing. I did a photo with him too. I think my photo is pretty great, but it's not quite as wild as his. Damn, this is just fantastic. So, right as I'm saying fantastic, Fear 500 says, "Ain't that fantastic?" Yeah. Charlotte Welch wins the next top 10 enter submission time. Right now, and then the next time I'll be checking for it will be next Friday. So anytime between now and next Friday, it's open. It's fair game. It's fair game. So this is just it's amazing. So just like look at this photo and be like, wow, and then think about it later because that's what it'll do because it's so good. Jason, awesome work, dude. So good. This is from Karen Kolsch. So when I was scrolling when I first saw this, and I actually thought this was a real picture at first, like a real people, or maybe I didn't think they were real people. Maybe I thought that they were toys, but then added into a real background with Photoshop. But no, this is 100% real. And so this is kind of an ongoing series that they're doing. Yeah. And this photo here that they posted is really funny and the caption is really funny, but this one is just crazy. It honestly blows my mind. And I think the thing that really gets me is this tiny little light right here that is like shining onto them. Wow. Right? It's unreal. Domesticated caveman. It is unreal. All the minifigs, it looks like they're just a collection of a bunch of different things. A lot of them are like mini brands. You know, the mini brands in the background are that mini brands line. So there's a ton of those back there. Some of them are the mini pops, you know, those mini pops that Funko sells, or bitty pops they're called. There's a bunch of stuff back there that, you know, just probably just random, very small toys that micro galaxy. There's that stuff, you know, it's crazy. And there's even a Detolf. Yes. So, and if you look closely, this couple here that are both wearing Star Wars and Avengers shirts, they're doing toy photography together. He's holding a light reflector and she's photographed. It's just like, it's crazy. Like, how incredible is this photo? This is so cool. Orbits. This is so cool. Yes. So yeah, like this is just so Karen Kolsch, like really, really, really amazing. That, like, this is way more meticulous than I would ever be able to do. Like, it's just it's crazy. Really great job, Karen Kolsch. Next is from RetroStorm. And so, really, as far as I know, RetroStorm is the only one that actually has already used the hashtag Sirdork Top 10. He just went for it. He was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. He talked about it. He also did Dork Cast Top 10. You know what? I'm glad I went with Sirdork Top 10 because Dork Cast Top 10 looks like Dork Stop 10. So he just went for it. And so I think this is great anyway. But the fact that you already did it was like, you're the only one in the hashtag, so you get it. Like, but we got 2 stormtroopers and also doing toy photography. So it looks like a dad and a son with their little TIE fighter First Order figure and then a little stormtrooper. And I first thought that they were flying a drone. I was like, oh, cool, maybe they're doing a drone together. But I look close, I'm like, oh, they're doing a toy photo. And if you look real closely, it looks like on the viewfinder of the camera and the phone, it looks like there's actually a photo of what's going on there in it, you know. And that is so cool. It's so cool. And like, you know, seeing these type of meta photos where you're like, oh, the toys themselves are doing toy photography. Like, I don't know, that just doesn't get old to me. Like, I just think that's so fun and it's cute. And you look at it and you're like, ah, you know, it's kind of impossible to not have that type of reaction. And you know, so that, you know, the concept alone is great. Plus, it's like, it's cool. It's well done. It's well done. So RetroStorm, you did great, my friend, and you have been like the champion of the Sirdork Top 10 hashtag since I, you know, kind of spoke it into existence, but you actually did it. So that's really cool. RetroStorm, awesome job, dude. Next from Toy Photo Lens, a bigger fish. There's always a bigger fish. The boys and I got together to do another collab. This theme is being called Successful Hunt. Be sure to check out everyone else who did this with me. So this is the Hammond Collection Spino that everyone's talking about that I've got right there. I got one. I really wanted to find it in a toy hunt, but oh well. But I did able to snag one on Target.com. And then he's taking out another dino, which I don't know what the dino is. And so this is the stuff from the collab. That's really cool. But I think this is super cool. Like the Spinosaurus, like being in the water is epic. And he's like biting the neck of the other dino and all the water splashing up is so cool. Orbits. Okay. Again, are people just going out and taking pictures of real dinosaurs they found? Orbits, that's a great compliment because it certainly looks and feels that way. I think this is so cool. The action is great. And honestly, the framing and the composition of, like, you know, where everything fits within the photo is really well done too. And so the splashes, it's awesome. It's awesome. The Hammond Collection Giga, is that what this is? the Giga. I'm not a big dino guy in general, and I'm even more of a noob to the dino figures. But this is super awesome. Toy photo lens, great job. Super cool, action-packed shot. Next is from Theo Dahan. You know, I've always been calling you Theo, and now I'm like, is it just the Odahan? Is it the Odahan? Am I just so Theo or Odahan or the Odahan? Let me know so I don't sound like a complete idiot next time I try to say your name. But Hulk smash. So we've got Hulk literally smashing a Schweppes bottle or can of seltzer, and I like how they call it soda water. We call it seltzer over here in the U.S. And I think Schweppes has good seltzer. And so in this one, he's punching it downwards and crunching it. And then on this one, he's jumping and carrying it. And here's some BTS. And I think this is this the SH Figuarts movie Hulk? Right? This is a great figure. But all three of these shots are really cool. And when he sent me this photo at one point, and I was like, oh, is this practical? And he was like, nope. I was like, whoa, really? I actually thought it was practical. And so it's not. So he just, the fact that I was actually convinced, I think says something. And, you know, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. I love this kind of stuff. You know, punching life-size objects, especially like cans of something or soda. It's super cool. So Theo Dahan. Awesome. Super awesome, man. Next is from Panic Room Toys. If you're not following Panic Room Toys, then you should be. He just does the funniest, goofiest stuff. And it's all horror related, but goofy. He just says pool day. And so we've got, this is the new NECA Jaws figure that I pre-ordered. And I'm very excited for it because I think it's really cool. But he's got Superman in his mouth. And he's jumping out of the water. But what's going to happen is, like, the shark is going to bite down on Superman, and then all of his teeth are going to just, like, break. And so he did a BTS, and he's literally in the pool, and then splash, splash, splash. And what's crazy is that Mezco's Superman is soft goods. Like, I wouldn't even think of getting this figure wet. That would scare me so much, you know? And of course, he had a helper with him. That's so cool. Seeing, I don't know if it was like your kid or something to help you out. That just makes me happy seeing helpers, you know. And so, and it's just it's a quick, funny, whatever. It's just you see this on your feed and you're like, haha, what? This is great. So super cool. Panic Room Toys. You always put out really entertaining stuff. That's the perfect word to describe your account. It's just entertaining. Cool. And then I think this is the last one. And this is from Photographist. Wherever I go, he goes. So obviously for me, when I saw this Photographist, I was like, oh, I love this because there's, you know, the Mandalorian reference. So we've got Deadpool, and he's walking with a cape, and he's got a satchel with a baby Deadpool in it instead of it being like a baby Grogu. So it's like Mando, but it's Deadpool, and it's like, come on, that is so funny. And so, like, you know, that in and of itself is a concept that's funny and I've seen before, whatever. But the shot itself is just well done, and so not only was a good concept, but the shot is perfectly done. The posing's really good, the cape and everything. It's just very well done. I think this is the Figuarts, the new Figuarts one, right? This picture fits a Mandalorian, not Deadpool, really. Well, that's the point, Orbits. That's the point. That's why it's funny. Yeah, this got a kick out of me because like when I'm scrolling, I see this at first glance, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, Deadpool. He's got the baby in the pot. You know, and it's just, you know, the more I look at it and discover, it's funny. So Photographist, super, super funny. Like, really, really great work. So Deadpoolorian. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. So that's it for the Sirdork top 10. That's it. great job, everybody. And I'm really looking forward to next week and seeing what you guys throw in there. So that's all you got to do. Just hashtag Sirdork Top 10 when you post and tag me in it. If you don't tag me in it, there's a huge chance that I just won't see it. Huge chance, because I could either miss it or Instagram just will hide it, So that's just kind of unfortunately the way it is. So, all right. The next is member questions. So if you're a channel member here on YouTube, I'm doing a thing where before every show, I'll make a post that says, hey, anybody have any questions? Boom. Thanks, Mom. It's not the end of the show, just the Sirdork Top 10. It's not the end of the show. Orbits, guys. That was it for the Sirdork Top 10. That section. There's still more. The next is so member questions. So I gotta pull it up. So on YouTube, I have this little membership on the YouTube channel, and I made a big change. There's only one tier, and it's only $2 now. It's $1.99 a month. And so one of the perks for that, you get there's a Discord channel, you get cool emojis, your name is green in the live chat. There's a few different things. $2, and also you can throw a question in, and I'll answer it here on the live stream. And so let me pull up the questions from today. There's a few of them. So I'm going to pull it up right now. And so thank you to all the members. Huge thank you. And thank you for asking some questions. Oh, wait, let me change the little banner to channel member questions. Charlotte Welch, that's a great question. And when I'm done with these questions, I'm just going to do overall Q&A for the rest of the show, and I'll absolutely answer. So first one's from Comic Dad. Can I zoom in a little more? It says, I figured I would throw a curveball and not ask a photo question, but a tech question. What PC do you use? What's your setup? What does the Dork have under the hood his PC? Did you build it? I have a pre-built gaming PC. I'm not really super savvy with PC related stuff, but I knew when I bought this, I have a desktop. But when I wanted to buy a desktop, I wanted something really powerful so I could live stream and I could do Photoshop, or maybe both at the same time. So I bought it from Walmart. It was a Walmart pre-built gaming PC by iBuyPower. iBuyPower. And so I did have to replace a couple things in it at some point. So my CPU is a little bit stronger and my RAM is a little higher now, because both of them kind of crapped out once, and I had to, so now it's pre-built with some modifications to it. So that's pretty much it for my setup. And I've got some cheapo monitors here. Is that really it as far as tech goes? So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Comic Dan. Everyone who's throwing in questions right now, I'm gonna miss them right now. If you throw them in like when this segment is done. So Retro Storm asks 2 questions. He says, do you ever run out of space for your figure collection? And also, do you put your figures back in the box? Totally. Space is absolutely a thing. And I definitely buy and get way more action figures than I can own. So all the things I make videos for, maybe half of them I keep for myself. Because I really want to keep them. The other ones I hold on to, I'll do for giveaways. I'll just give them to somebody, or I save them and do a toy show and sell them. Or I actually just went to that toying around block party thing. I went to the toying around store 2 days ago, and I just sold him a bunch of figures and got store credit. And then I got some figures for Jared that not for Sirdork, just ones for me. And so, yeah, and every so often I'm like, I don't need this anymore. Let me take it and sell it. And I'll just in and out. But yeah, definitely always running out of room for sure. And do you put your figures back in the box after a photo? The only time I'll ever put them back in the box is if I don't plan on keeping it myself. If I want to get rid of it, So yeah, thanks for that question, RetroStorm. CD Toy Picks says, my wife and I are rewatching the Clone Wars, and I got to wondering, where are all the pics of the battle droids? I know I'm new to Instagram and toy photography, so maybe I'm not looking in the right place, or maybe they're just not in vogue. Anyway, I'm more for clankers. Roger, Roger. You know, I don't do nearly as much battle or Star Wars as I would like to. The only reason I don't do Star Wars as much anymore is because I have to really aim the content I create towards the something that the most people are going to watch. And when I do Star Wars, not a lot of people watch. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And that's why I don't do as much Star Wars. But I'm hoping that when the Mandalorian movie comes out next year, Star Wars will be hot again and people will love it. And I can do more Star Wars, and I don't have to suffer from it. I know that sounds really weird, but yeah, the stuff I choose to shoot is a combination of things I love and that I know can also people want to watch. So it's usually like a marriage between the two. But I did do a battle droid photo somewhat recently, maybe a year ago or so, and I think I pinned it in my Instagram Reels. Let me see if I can find it. So this is for you, CD. Yep, here it is. And this was a really fun one. Here we go. The headless, unfortunate power of the clone. This one right here. Hopefully this is not okay. It's not playing the music. Thank goodness. So there you go. That's, I guess, my best answer for that. But I appreciate it, CD Toy Picks. All right. Next question is from Spidey. Spidey Animations. Will you ever do another shot with Sonic? Maybe. When the next Sonic movie comes out. I'm not a huge Sonic fan, so I like Sonic, but I didn't really grow up on Sonic, so I was mainly doing it because the movie was hot, and it did kind of make me enjoy the movie more and Sonic more by doing the shots with him. So I'll probably do another Sonic shot when the next movie or something comes out, or something happens, or something. I'm trying to stick with the what's hot. So hopefully, I would like to, but we'll see. We'll see. Sorry, Spidey Animations. And then Lil Unknown says, how has life been after going full-time with toy photography? Is there any action figure line you have interest in? Is there any advice you could give about putting my content out there? Well, that's 3 questions. One is, for the first question, everything is going wonderfully after doing this full-time and quitting my job. Orbits, really quick, how long the live stream before? Probably for a little bit longer. I would, if I do another half hour, that's probably a good estimation. But the last 3 weeks or so have been wonderful. I've been just enjoying myself so much. I get to wake up every day and just work on this. And I've been working a lot all day, pretty much every day, to pump out as much as possible. But I love it so much, and it makes me very, very happy. Reality will settle in a little bit more towards next month and the following. Because I got to really figure out finances, stuff like that, to make sure this will work, because I have a mortgage and bills that this all has to pay for. But I did recently just sign with an agency that will help me with getting more little ads. So if I do a video and it's like, oh, this video is sponsored by this, you might see a little bit of that more, but they'll all be good. I'm not going to do any ads that are stupid. Things that I think are actually have value to you and that I actually think is actually cool. I'm not going to do any ads that are not that. So there's that. Is there an action figure line that you have interest in? Well, actually, the easy question or answer for that is the dinosaurs, the Hammond collection. I'm totally new to the dinosaur thing, but now that I've been looking for the dinosaurs and the Spinosaurus and stuff, it's actually made me interested in it more. So depending on how much I love it when I open it up and photograph them, I'll probably keep doing more. Red Zomax says, no Manscape? Maybe. I mean, I don't think Manscaped is a terrible company. So if they were sure, yeah, I mean, I'm sure plenty of people watching would have use for that. Like 89% of the viewers are male. That is the case. So my next little unknown answer to that would be the Heyman collection. Probably. Is there any advice you could give about putting my content out there? Yes. Number one advice is just go for it and do it, and put as much of your own personality in there as possible. But also be hyper honest and critical with yourself. Everything you look at and post, think to yourself, is this good? Would I look at this if I was scrolling and say, wow, that's cool? Would I want to watch this if I was just scrolling one day? Would I choose to watch this myself? Ask yourself those questions. And if, be very honest. And if not, then fix it a little bit, make it better. If like a 1 second of your video is like a little boring, make it not boring. That's my advice for that. Domesticated Caveman says, hey, Jared, I was wondering, what is the one thing you wish you knew when you started sharing photos and getting involved in social media? Actually, what I just said about to Little Unknown would probably be that for sure. Adding your own personality to it and just be super critical with yourself. What else would I have loved to have known? One thing that's a great mindset that I have to really make sure I think about is, if I want to grow and have the most amount of people see what I'm posting, I have to think wide. I have to think about not just the toy community and the toy photography community, because I'm sure they'll all like it because they love toy photography. So that's cool. But I got to think bigger than that. Like, is some random grandma who's scrolling, is she going to find value in this? And maybe will she actually think it's kind of cool? Like I got to make sure everybody will think it's cool. Not so that involves using really popular characters, really relatable things. I got to make sure that it's really easy for every person to like, whether it be Uncle Joe or, somebody that already likes toys. I got to make sure that it's easy for everyone to digest and be like, oh, that's cool. So you got to think bigger than that. That's what I would say for that. And that's really only specific if you're trying to grow. If you're not and you just want to do it for fun, then who cares? Just do whatever you want, Spidey Animation, wins a shot with the Colossal T-Rex. Actually, for I'll probably just stick to one question for going forward, but I'll do all the T-Rex and dinosaur stuff closer to the movie when it comes out in July. And last is Nick C. Well, hey, Nick. Thanks, man. Is there a toy you've always wanted but never have been able to find? Yeah, I think usually if I ever go to a toy show, I always keep in mind, like, I would love to find some of those Pokemon figure arts from when they came out. Like, there was a Mega Blaziken figure art. There was a, Venusaur, Blastoise. I have the Charizard and Blastoise. There was a Lucario. Those I would have loved to just find. If I could find one of those in the wild, I might go a little crazy and buy it. But I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could just go on eBay and buy it for a high price. But I would love to just find it one day. That would be really cool. That's probably what I would answer for that. Thanks, Nixie. Okay, well, those are the member questions. So the rest of the stream and the rest of the show, I'm just want to do Q&A. So if you have a question, throw it in the live chat, and I'll do my best to answer. And I'm going to say just right now, there's a huge chance I could miss some. So just if I miss it, sorry, I'm going to try and do my best to answer as many questions. And before anyone asks, my favorite action figure is the Mafex Mandalorian Chrome Edition. That's my favorite figure. So if you're thinking about asking that, there's the answer. Sherry says, can you do a My Hero Academia figure unboxing? I've got 2 My Hero Academia figures on my desk there that I need to do videos for. I've got Bakugo and Deku figure arts and the accessory pack. So yes, I've been planning on doing it, but other things have been taking more priority, that kind of thing. Orbit says, are you going to get that Ash figure to go with Charizard? I'm definitely going to get the Ash figure, and I'm definitely going to compare him with Charizard for sure when I do the thing. Nat Boy, dude. What did I just say? Steven says, I know it's been a while now since your other Instagram account was hacked. Have you got back to where you were before? Congrats on quitting your job. Thank you, Steven. That's really nice. I mean, I would say I'm in a far better place, even on Instagram now than I ever was. I'm not at as many followers as I was. I was at like 75,000. Now I'm at like 60. I'm getting there. But one thing I learned is that number on the top there was simply a number to flaunt around, because that number is not necessarily representative of the amount of, engagement, one could get in a Instagram post or whatever. It's just a thing, So I am feeling way better than I ever was on that other account. And if Facebook right now were like, hey, we can give your account back, I'd be like, I'm good. But thank you. Steven, that's a really great question. The Darkest Night says, do you do what you do for money or for yourself? This is a great question. Fantastic question. Well, everything I do, I've been doing for myself for years, for over a decade. I do it because I love it. And I'm very fortunate to be in a position now that I can make money by doing the thing I love. So nowadays, I do have to think about both. I have to do what I love and make money from it. And that's like, honestly, it's literally a dream. And I'm so grateful for it. But the one thing about it that does stink is I have to sacrifice doing some things that I typically would love more, because I need to do this a little differently, because I know this would technically help get more money for my bills, So, I don't do as many Star Wars because Star Wars doesn't get as many views, quote unquote, at least for now, hopefully. So, I'll do a lot more Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. So I'm having fun. I'm having so much fun doing all the Spider-Man I'm doing. But I do lots of it because I know people care about it. Plus, like, even if I'm doing something like, for instance, Spider-Man, I'm doing Spider-Man video not because I know it's going to make me more money, it's going to get more views, but like the more I do that, the more I'm forced to like kind of saturate myself in the Spider-Man world, and I find myself appreciating Spider-Man more than I ever did, and I see why other people do it, and I kind of connect more with people that really love Spider-Man, and it's kind of cool to introduce myself more to things like that, like I did with Sonic. Like, I didn't really know Sonic so much before, and now I do, and it's cool. So there's a really great back and forth with everything. So Darkest Night, hopefully that answers your question. I did kind of get onto a little rant. Charlotte Welch says, any recommendations on a good affordable Superman figure? Charlotte, I would look into just some McFarland. McFarland has put out a lot of Superman figures. So if you just go on Amazon or something and just type in McFarland Superman figure, you'll have a lot of options. I think they're all good figures and they're affordable, and you'll probably find some on sale, I'm sure, too. So definitely do that. Zach Y says, when you take a photo, do you feel the pressure of every shot being your best? What a good question. I would say no. Because I don't know. I guess I don't feel like I need it to be my best one every time. If it is like something that I think is really good in the end, I do feel really proud of myself. And I'm like, yeah, I really like this one. But if you were to ask me what's your best photo, I'll be like, I don't know. I have no idea. But something else that's really cool, and I'm sure other toy photographers can relate to this, is every once in a while I'll post a photo and somebody will comment like, this is your best one yet. And I'm like, really? I did not think it was, but that makes me feel so good that you felt that way, because it's subjective. Toy photography is art, and art is subjective, and everyone's going to experience it differently. So what might not be the best to me might be the best to somebody else. And that's the same. I've commented that on so many photos, like, this might be your best one yet. You probably heard me say that on one of these streams. And so maybe that person was not thinking that they was their best, but I thought it was because I subjectively thought it was, So really great question. Really great question. My mom says, you take the best photo for the situation. I guess so. That's true. And that's another thing about, doing figures or something I'm not used to, like Spider-Man. It forces me to get better and learn more about how Spider-Man can be shot because I'm not doing it so often. So it's like, it's cool. It's cool. Goofy Pumpkin. I'm in a predicament. I don't know if I should save for Vegeta SHF or the Frieza SHF. I would say save up for Vegeta first and then get Frieza. That's what I would say. I feel like it'd be cool to have it'd be cool to have a Vegeta without Frieza than it would be have Frieza without Vegeta. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me because I would rather get good guys first. I don't know. Ben, do you plan on doing Godzilla versus Kong? Yeah, I did pre-order a Kong figure a while ago, and if I have the option, if I'm going to get a Godzilla or a Kong figure, I'm always going to pick Godzilla. But I was like, I should get a Kong. So yes, I definitely do. I definitely do. Orbits, what figure do you want the most but you don't have? The Infinity Studio Gypsy Danger. Very excited for that. And I will have it soon. But honestly, Orbits, I'm very fortunate to be in a position to where if there's a figure out there that I want, I will be able to figure out a way to get it. And it's really great. And I can't express to you enough to whatever I'm doing, making videos about toys, do that. Do it because you might get figures for free. You might get paid for it. It's crazy, right? And just do it. If enough people like it, it's going to happen. So I can't encourage anyone else enough to try this for yourself. Bushy Fishy says, I love Star Wars. Same. Bushy. Same. Sherry says, what anime figures do you have? I've got a bunch of Yu Yu Hakusho ones, some of those one-shot toys ones. They never came out with Hiei, though. I've got some One Punch Man stuff, got like Saitama and Genos. I've got a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Z. What else? I've got those My Hero Academias. I don't know. I've got a bunch of anime stuff. OFP Marine. Hey, man. People say some photos of mine are the best, and sometimes I don't even like them. That is exactly what I'm saying. Like that one photo of yours with the clone hanging, that was like that blew me. I was like, this is your best one. And so who knows? Maybe you didn't feel that way for you. Darkest Night says you're amazing, guy. You're amazing. DJ Destroy says, do you plan on doing more Transformers? Yes, definitely. And I get a lot of questions about more blockies Transformers, and I have something hopefully brewing up with blockies, so I'm very excited for that. What's the plan for the stash, like my mustache? I don't plan on it growing back anytime soon. At least for now. I'm going to keep on shaving it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Thanks for asking, though. Reader says, should I get the pirate skeleton figure for the hat by Hacks, the boss fight studio? And love your videos. Thank you, readers. Thank you for watching them. I would say, yeah, those boss fight studio figures are really cool. They're very, very cool. Definitely. I never got the pirate one. But I would say yes to those. And yeah, I think they're still available on Entertainment Earth. How long does pre-order last until it's normal? Like until it goes on to like normal in stock sale? I guess it depends. It just depends on the figure. Sometimes figures go on pre-order and then they don't become in stock for like a year, or sometimes it's like a couple months. So whenever you pre-order something, it should say on the listing when it is expected to ship. So hopefully, and it always says estimated because they get pushed back a lot. I do have all the Bad Batch. I've got them all. The original ones that came out. Love them. Love the Bad Batch. Wheels Toy Photo says, "Do you think they will make Tron Ares figures?" I bet you. I bet you they will. I don't think a lot. I'm not expecting. I mean, who knows? Maybe the movie will be huge, but I don't know who will do it. You think? Maybe I was gonna say Diamond Select seems like something they would do, but R.I.P. Diamond Select. I don't know. Maybe McFarland. I can see them doing Tron Ares. We'll see. Zach Y says, "Do you have any other boots on deck for videos, or any that you are really looking forward to?" I'm in the middle of editing a bootleg video right now. All the like the almost all, but all those CT toy ones that come out, I'm getting most of those. So yeah, those are coming. I didn't get the Gambit. I'm not planning on getting Gambit, only because like I don't have a huge connection with that character. So just the less of a connection I have with the character, the more boring the video will end up being, because if I'm not feeling the interest of it, it's going to show, and I'm going to probably be very bored and boring to watch. But yes, another bootleg Spider-Man video for Sunday. Very excited. Has there been a time you lost hope for this channel? No, I don't think so. I mean, when I did have that hack, unfortunately, it happened. I was very scared, but luckily the people at Google were great and helped me get it back. But other than that, I've never lost hope for it. Not in general. There's been times where I've been like a little nervous, like why are things not doing so well? But never like I lost hope or anything. Let's see. Our teacher says, "Hey Jared, it's Mr. Y. Hey Mr. Y. Saw you were live. Figured to pop in and say hey. Good to see you, Mr. Y. Hope to see you sometime soon again." Comic says, "What other vending machine can I print for you?" Dude, that one is amazing. And when those Fallout McFarland figures come out, I'm going to be using that Nuka-Cola. So Comic Dad 3D printed me a Nuka-Cola machine. And it's not only did he print it really well, and I think he sculpted it himself, but like all of the paint and everything on it is so good. It's like perfect. Steven with a V, have you ever been asked to do photos for other items, not toys, maybe other products, wedding, portraits, etc.? Yes, not so much anymore. I've done like some cosplay photos before, which are cool. A while back, I was asked to do fishing lure photos for like a fishing lure business, and that ended up falling through. I thought that would have been really cool though, like using real water effects and stuff. I did hot sauce bottles before. I did something for Mountain Dew actually once, but not so much anymore, because most brands see me more now as just like an influencer content creator more than a toy photographer now. And they see more value in my like subscriber count than my photography skills, which is fine. I'm not upset about that whatsoever, but that is just kind of how it works. So it's okay. Arushu Edits says, "When I saw the SH Monster Arts Shimo, I thought it was Playmates." Man, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I think it still looks better than a Playmates, but it's still not a whole lot better. Ben, how do you take time for yourself when you're doing something for the community, for action figures in the future? Well, that's really nice of you to think that. How do I find time for myself? First of all, when I'm doing toy photography and all of that, I'm still going to count that as time for myself, because I still love it and I enjoy every second of it. So it still is. But I'm usually at 6 or 7 p.m. when I'm done with work, I go and go to the movies. I still have plenty of time for myself. That's very, very nice of you to think of that. But I'm totally good, Ben. Promise. Oh man, I'm so far behind. Hey, Ray Sashi, Ramon, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming in. Who is Mr. Y? So Mr. Y is a teacher at a school in Baltimore. And so recently I took a trip to Baltimore, and I taught 4 toy photography workshops there to like 10-year-old, 10, 11-year-old. I think they're like middle school kids, which was so cool. So cool. I didn't really document or really share much about it because I didn't really know how to. But yeah, really cool. Back in I think it was April, I did that. So cool, right? Yeah, what a cool thing to be able to say that I did. And all the kids were amazing. They were such good kids, and I was so impressed by how well behaved and how good they are. Who's the better model, Venom or Toxin? You know what? The answer to this is not what you would think. Toxin is the better model. So Venom is much more, he just does whatever he wants. And so that's why he shows up in the videos. And if he wants to come up on the counter when I'm filming, he just does that. And that's what he wants to do. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. But if I'm ever taking a photo and I want to include my cats in it, Toxin is just like, he's right there ready to participate. So any photo I've taken where I include a kitty, it's always Toxin. And I've done it 3 times or so. And Venom, if he's not into it, he's like, nah. Toxin will sit there and stand in place and be like, I'm ready for the photo. Venom will not. He'll just be like, this is dumb. I'm going to do whatever I want. So that's great question. Aaron's stop motion. Oren says, what's your favorite Godzilla character? Mine's Biolante. I like Biolante too. I've got a Biolante over there that I've been meaning to do, but I don't know. Maybe just Godzilla in general, or Ghidorah. Though of all of the characters that I would want to collect, I'd probably be those 2. So I guess one of those 2. Probably just Godzilla. If I look at my collections, all Godzillas. Professor Dork. Not really. But that is kind of cool to think of, right? Darth Vader, hello. Jamestown says, I hope there's a fully articulated crypto figure. I don't know. I know Beast Kingdom is putting out another Superman that comes with crypto, and there's one that's like a stoic static standing there crypto. Well, they're both static, and then the other one is more like an action pose. So he's not articulated, but he does come with 2 different cryptos. So that's very interesting. Darkest Night says, other than time, has there been a situation that you lost something or someone because of pursuing your career? No, I don't think so. No, no. I think I did. I'm proud of how well I was able to balance things before. When I was doing my job and doing this, I didn't have time for anything else in the world, and that was fine because I was doing what I wanted. But if there's ever a time where people in my life, where I never put that before them. Hopefully someone's not watching this right now and they're like, yeah, right. You blew me off 3 times, dude, when we were supposed to, so I guess just try to keep a good balance. Try to keep a good balance for yourself and for, the others around you. Definitely. Charlotte says, I take photography with an iPhone. Any tips? Because I'm a new toy photographer. Try to use all the options in the phone you've got. Use the portrait mode. When you're with your phone, try to get nice and down low. Like phones, you can get it's easier to get right down to the ground as opposed to with a camera. You can't do that as much because the camera's bigger. So yeah, experiment with angles. If you have an iPhone, use that 0.5 wide lens. That's really cool. Or I did 2 iPhone videos, tutorial videos. They're in the basics playlist, toy photography basics. Who do you think is the best toy photographer? I don't know. I can't answer that. There's definitely plenty of people that I look up to for sure. But every toy photographer should believe that they themselves are the best. Or to strive to be the best. That's what I would say. What do you think about the new Venom action figures? Which new Venom? Oh, like the says Ben. The newest one they revealed is that Marvel vs. Capcom, right? He's blue. I'm not very interested in that. or really any of those figures, to be honest. I was never a big player of those games. I think I played them. I played that game in WoW, which was a arcade back in the day. And then I bought a Marvel vs. Capcom for the Xbox 360. And I was like, yes, I can't wait to play this. I love Marvel. But wasn't a fan of the style of that fighting game. Like it wasn't really fun. So here's Venom. He's coming in trying to say hi. There's Venmo. All right, here we go. Mr. Kiwi, hey man, do you prefer outdoor or indoor? Outdoor, forever, always. I do like, damn, I got your hair in my mouth. When I'm shooting indoor, there is definitely a feeling of calmness. When I'm outside, I often do feel like I'm in a rush and I have to hurry up and figure out what I'm doing because of lighting, stuff like that. But still, I'll always be an outdoor boy, for sure. Zach Y, have you ever been heckled in public while you're shooting a toy photo, like on a bridge with Spider-Man, for example? Heckled, like, what do you mean heckled? Like been made fun of or something? No. So actually, Zach Y, what I would recommend, if you haven't watched it, I did a video on a big Pacific Rim figure recently. It's the Cherno Alpha one. I say the title is like best Pacific Rim figure yet. It's the most recent one I did, and I was able to kind of capture a great example of what happens when I shoot in public and people interacting with me, and it was great. It was great. This girl was like, "What are you doing? That looks cool. That looks awesome." And I gave her my card, and I got a new like follower or something from it. You know, it was really cool. So it's always a great thing. Hey, Sir Gidge, did you watch Pirates of the Caribbean? Yes, I've seen, I think, all of them. Yeah, I like those movies quite a bit. The first two I thought were so awesome, so awesome. Nilla Gorilla's here. Hey, Nilla, thanks for coming in, dude. What settings do you use for your camera on toy photography? Ben, well, it's different every time. It's very different every time. So every time I take a photo, I talk about my settings, and I'm like, my settings are right here, right here, right here. So every video I put out, pay attention to that section, because sometimes I go through a little bit quick, but I do, for the most part, kind of explain why my settings are the way they are. So it is always different. You know, usually when I'm doing action stuff, my shutter speed is high, and then I'll adjust accordingly. But if I don't need action, then I'll turn it down a little bit, and then I can have more freedom with my other settings to adjust and stuff. Zergly, when you put your question in, put it in just once. Don't spam. Is the Black Series Bakar a good choice? What's the Black Series Bakar? Black Series Bakar. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't have him. This is the clone. The newer. This is the Kayati Mundi battalion. I didn't realize his name was Bakar. He looks great. Honestly, if I saw him in the store, I would snag him up right away. But yeah. ISO is 400. My ISO is always at 400, though, Goofy Pumpkin. You're right. Most of the time. I keep it at 400 because I think it's better. If I want my lighting to be darker or lighter, I'll adjust my other settings first before I touch ISO. Because I feel like when you touch ISO, there's a huge chance that, you could get grain or visual noise in your photo. The other settings, if you're able to adjust them, oh, hey, buddy. If you're able to adjust them, you won't necessarily get the same problems. You know that you're on camera right now? Oh, ouch. What's your favorite figure to pose? I mean, Spider-Man figures are pretty great to pose because they're usually very posable. So I guess I would say Spider-Man. And honestly, the Maximum Spider-Man, I think that's like the best articulated Spidey. And I've been messing around with a lot of Spider-Mans lately, and that one is like, I don't know, it's really good. Do you ever plan to review the DC Essentials Red Hood? DC Essentials? Isn't that the DC Direct line? Right? That doesn't exist anymore? Probably not. I do have one DC Essentials figure. Or what? Yeah, yeah, I have the Deathstroke from that. I wasn't a big fan of that line, to be honest. I thought those figures looked nice, but they were kind of sucky figures, in my opinion. Sorry. So probably not. I probably will really only continue to review newer figures that come out. Nothing super old. If I'm thinking of the right thing, though, I'm not sure. What is a good Vegeta base form? There's tons of Figure Arts Vegetas that have come out that are base form. I really like the Imagination Works Vegeta and Goku. I have both of those. Those are, a experiment that Bandai did in the Tamashi, whatever. But I like those figures a lot, but I don't think most people did. Are you only ever going to premieres from now on? Are you only ever going to premieres? Going to do premiere? I've been doing premieres on all of my videos for years. I don't think I've done a video without a premiere in a very long time. So yes, yeah. The premieres are great because I get to kind of hang out with anybody who's watching. What figure do I hate to pose? I don't really hate a lot of things, but every so often I'll pose a figure and I'll get a little frustrated, and usually you'll be able to tell on camera. The last one I got frustrated with was the Hulk, the Maximum Hulk, which wasn't really that bad, but it just had some other problems that gave me maybe a little frustrated. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then I'm going to call it. I think 2 hours is probably a good one. So the one Kamikaze, I'm late to the stream. I'm not sure if this question has been asked. Did you take any photography classes, or this is a hobby that started your career path in photography? Excuse me. I've never taken a photography class before. I did take Photoshop in high school when I was in 10th grade as my art class for 1 quarter. And honestly, I learned a lot from that class. And when I downloaded Photoshop later in my life to do this with, I had a great foundational understanding of how it worked that really helped me get a good grasp on it. So that was very helpful. Other than that, I just kind of figured out stuff on my own. YouTube videos, just that kind of thing. And I'm not saying that to be like, I'm self-taught. I didn't learn anything from a class. Who cares? But however you learn it, learn it. I would be probably way better at what I do if I did take classes. The boot Sub-Zero Domesticated Caveman. Yeah, that got me very frustrated. All right. Last question is from Ben. This will be the last question. Do you ever plan on getting the new figures for your collection? What do you think about Godzilla or Black Series? I love both Black Series and the Godzilla figures, definitely very much. So I will definitely be getting more of both of those. But yeah, lots of new figures for the collection, as always been, for sure. Well, thank you all so much for a wonderfully, I think, a great first episode of Dork Cast. And I'm hoping to do it same thing again on Friday at 4. Next week. If I ever have to change it around, I'll do my best to move it, but I definitely want to make sure I stick to this being weekly. So thank you all again for being here and watching the stream. If you're watching this later on, I appreciate that so much. Still, either way, I'll put all the information that I talked about in the description here, like the links and stuff. And I will see you soon. Tomorrow is Saturday, and there'll be a nice Ghidorah video ready at noon tomorrow. Hope you like it if you decide to watch. So thank you again, everybody. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a great weekend. See you later. Bye-bye.